Here we go. All of you, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and think of the one thing you want to do in your life. Thank you. So, what does it take to dream and make it happen? Unfortunately, I don't have a magic wand which will make it happen. But I do have some building blocks which can help you get there. They are the 5 C's and the 3 P's. What are the 5 C's? Courage, commitment, conviction, cooperation, and capital. These 5 pillars need to be built on a solid foundation of planning, passion, and patience. Today I shall share with you how, with the help of the 5 C's and the 3 P's, I did what I wanted to do in my life. A bit of background. Born in 1966, I grew up in Mumbai. I studied in Mumbai, I worked in Mumbai. I jumped into the local train to catch the coveted window seat. I ate out, I partied, I cribbed about BMC, but I love this city. I also love vada pav, a Mumbaiker just like you. It was somewhere in the early 2000s that I realized that Mumbai was changing. No, it wasn't changing, it was bursting. The 20-minute drive to office was suddenly taking over an hour. I felt I was listening more to FM than spending time with my family. I had to escape. We thought about a getaway. No, this is not our getaway, it's just an internet download. But we did dream of something like this. Our search for this dream location had a healthy following at work. Every Monday, my colleagues would gather around my desk and ask, "Kuch mila?" And I would always say, "Nahi yaar, the road is not good, the view is not good," and so on. One of my colleagues, Shrikant, once commented, he said, "You will never buy land. It is the thrill of searching which keeps you going." Maybe. I had put in 5 years in IBM as a project manager, completed a few projects, bagged the Employee of the Year award. I was a certified project manager, good team, good boss, good salary. But I was restless. I wanted to do something different. So I applied. I got a few offers. But sadly, as they say, once a project manager, always a project manager. I thought about these offers. What would change? My office, my team, and of course, my salary. But that's not what I wanted. It was around this time that my wife, Meena, was writing a book on organic cotton. As part of her research, she would travel to the villages, stay with the farmers, and document their work. She would come back from her trips and narrate to me stories about how these farmers lived, what they ate, what they grew. Having never lived in a village, I was fascinated by these stories. I also started getting interested in her work. I read about organic farming. I was convinced that organic food is the solution to our health and environmental problems. I started getting passionate about farming and staying in a village. It was after one of our trips, while we sat and discussed rural economy, that I got my eyes closed, deep breath moment. I asked her, "Do you think I can be a farmer?" She said, "Why not? If 65% of this country can do farming, you can also do it." The seed was sown. I decided I would be a farmer. Our plan was very simple. We would buy some land, grow our food, and live happily ever after. I discussed this with my colleagues in IBM and was in for a surprise. Not a single person said it was a stupid idea. They all said, "Venkat, great idea. Go ahead, we are with you." I was like, "What? If it is such a great idea, why don't you do it? Why me?" Each one had his own reason. Someone had just got a 2 BHK. Someone's parents were not keeping well. Someone's kids were going to the best international school in Mumbai, and so on. I realized that deep within, each one of them wanted to break away. But there were heavy anchors which were weighing them down. One of my colleagues, Rajesh, gave me good advice. He said, you want to do something like this, you need to plan. So plan I did. I opened my spreadsheet, listed down our assets, our liabilities. I sat with Meena and discussed a risk mitigation plan. We did projections, pie charts, the works. At the end of it, we knew exactly how much capital we had. We also knew that we would last for 3 years on our savings before we started digging into the capital. The time was short. The budget was tight. I had no skills in farming. I had never lived in a village. And the agrarian crisis in the country, the industry was not booming. So what did I have? I had a plan. I had the passion. I knew I had to commit myself to this. I also knew I was completely convinced about organic farming. I had the full cooperation of my family and friends, and I knew how much capital I had. All I needed was the courage to do it. In October 2003, I mustered all the courage I had, and I quit IBM. Jan 1st, 2004, I woke up a free man. I had nowhere to go, no presentations, no deadlines, and no salary. It was a few months later that we actually got our land. And thanks to some good advice from the villagers, we sowed our first crop of moong. Even before the land was transferred into my name, we had harvested a bumper crop of moong. We had never seen so much moong in our life. We decided we will sell it. And we learned the first lesson in farming. The price we see at the retail is no indication of what the farmer gets. The bulk of the profit is taken by the middleman and the retailer, and the farmer gets a pittance. The money we earned from our moong sales was not even equal to my 1 month's mobile bill in IBM. That was the reality. After the first bumper crop of moong, I had a terrible monsoon season. I lost my entire crop of tur. The rice did not grow. There were no vegetables growing at the farm. Nothing. I panicked. I really panicked. Oh Lord, what had I done? I thought of calling up IBM and pleading with them to take me back. I started getting bouts of depression, not speaking, nibbling at my food, staring into open space. I was sinking. But all was not lost. Meena noticed the change and confronted me. After some meaningful discussions, she convinced me that I was panicking too early. After all, it was just a few months since we had started. And unlike software, farming doesn't come with an F1 key for help, or for that matter, a manual. I realized that one of my building blocks was weak. Patience. With renewed enthusiasm, I resumed my farming activities. And today, it is 15 years, and the thought of returning to the corporate world has never occurred again. So what do we grow at the farm? We eat what we grow. We have 2 varieties of rice, a range of pulses, spices, seasonal vegetables, 2 oil seeds, and lots of fruits. What about village life? Village life is tough. Things that you take for granted in the city do not exist in the village. The milkman, the newspaper vendor, the garbage man, the domestic help, the bai, they're not there. Besides, we have bad infrastructure, bad roads, erratic power supply, and rampant corruption at every level. If it's so bad, then why live it? In spite of the hardship, it is still paradise. The open skies, the fresh air, the good food that we eat, and of course, our pets. Living in the lap of nature more than compensates for the physical hardships. After I was comfortable with farming, I thought it was time to spread the word. A few like-minded people got together and we formed the Mumbai Organic Farmers and Consumers Association, MOFCA. With support from Dr. M.L. Dhavle Trust, we started working with poor Adivasi farmers, converting them to organic farming. What started with 4 farmers, today we have 70 farmers following organic practices. Besides helping them with farming, we also help them in marketing. Last year, a kind soul, Rajiv Mongia, donated a vehicle to us. And today, our farmers come to the city to sell directly to the consumers. We managed to eliminate the middleman, and now they make some money. After I had quit IBM, a few of my friends wanted to keep in touch and know what was happening in my life. So I started sending them email updates of the events at the farm. Some of them got back and said, "Why don't you write a book?" I thought they were joking. I mean, other than a few emails and project reports, I had never written anything. But the idea remained with me. A few years later, I thought about it. Maybe it was another ocean waiting to be discovered. Encouraged by Meena, who had written a few books, I started writing. My first draft was a disaster. No publisher accepted it, though they gave some good comments. I let it lie. 5 years later, I went back to it, and this time it worked. Moving Over Microchips was published in March 2018. Adventures of a Techie turned farmer. My first book. So then, coming back to that one thing you thought about at the beginning of the talk, with the help of the 5 C's and the 3 P's, it is possible for you to do it. So, my friends, wear your life jackets and prepare to sail, to leave sight of the shore, to discover new oceans, to chase your dream, to follow your passion, and to do something meaningful in life. Yes, you can do it too. Thank you.